Hi everyone, I hope everyone is fine. Welcome to another episode of our show today. So now I'm gonna be talking something very important and it's about live interview questions. I'm gonna be telling us the live questions that you might be asked on the day of your interview. So now you're gonna listen and I'm gonna list some of the questions that are being asked on that day and live scenario on how you could answer such questions. So now first and foremost, I'm gonna be asking this one or I'm gonna be saying this one so we could learn together. So now first I'll tell you why do you wanna work in care. So you're gonna give them tips like you tell them your passion for helping other people, empathy and interest in making positive impacts in people's lives. These are the tips on how you could answer this question. Example, you've always been passionate, or you say, I've always been passionate about helping other people, and I find it incredibly rewarding to know that my work can improve someone's quality of life. I believe my compassion and patience are strong qualities that can make me suited for this role. So when you are asked such question like, why do you want to work in care, or why do you want to work in any sector in care, this is like a scenario or this is like a tip on how you can answer such question. Okay, you can also chip in yours, yeah, but just more like an overview of how you can answer a question like this. You don't have to beat around the bush, you just need to go straight to the point. So we're going to go to the second question. Now we're going to ask you, tell us about the time when you dealt with a challenging situation. This kind of question is really common, especially for people who are working in care sector, mental health support and all of that. So we ask you, tell us about the time when you dealt with a challenging situation. I'm going to give us a tip on how you can answer such question, just in case you come about it. So now you're going to use like a STAR technique. You tell them about a situation, the task, an action, and the results to, this is more like a tip on how you can actually frame yours, yeah? So you now focus on the problem solving and empathy. So you tell them, for instance, that you want to care for a resident, a client, or a patient when they were distressed, and you were able to help to change their routine. It could be maybe the person was in a state of a place where he or she wasn't comfortable at the time, so you were able to come into play and help the person, try to like solve the problem at that point to make the person comfortable, and the person was able to move from that spot where he or she was to another. So you would tell the person that you calmly explain the situation, like I said. You take your time to also listen to the person because a lot of things could happen. So many things could trigger a resident or could make them agitated at that point where the person might not be comfortable due to one or two reasons. So now, how did you deal with a challenging situation? I'm still going to you tell them that you took a time to listen to their concerns and also adjusted one or two things, I also made them feel comfortable, like I said. You also made the resident, the client, to be reassured, and you were able to solve the problem as at that time. So you would tell them what you were able to do, how you came into play, and how you were able to solve that situation the person was facing, and how you made the person to be reassured, made the person to be calm, be in a position where they could trust you and earn your trust, So this is how you could answer. Tell them what you did and how you were able to do it, when you did it, and what happened at the end of the day. So you're gonna just tell the interviewer how you were strong enough or how you were good enough to come into play and help the situation at that time, and how the person was able to be happy at the end of the day. Okay, so moving forward, we're gonna answer more and more questions. How would you handle a difficult or uncooperative patient? Tips is you would show the person patience, communication skills, and ability to remain calm in such situation. Example, I would first of all try to understand why the patient is upset or uncooperative by talking to them calmly, because I believe communication is a key in a care home, mental health, or wherever you find yourself, and also by empathizing and showing patience, which I can also or I can offer help, to diffuse such situation. So when someone is in a situation or when the person is difficult to handle, you would also alternate different tactics or techniques or tactics on how to handle such person. So moving forward, we're gonna ask another one. So how would you maintain a patient's dignity and respect while providing care? So I'm gonna give us a tip on how we could answer this question. First and foremost, you emphasize the importance of person-centered care and treating patients with respect and dignity. Respect and sensitivity, yeah? Example, you believe it's crucial to treat everyone with respect, maintain their dignity by listening to them and focusing on what makes the person happy. Aside that, also making the person well respected. When you're in a situation, you're in a position where you're actually helping someone, especially when you're giving the person-centered care, respect is the most utmost priority for such person. Not just respect you, respect their privacy. You give them some form of dignity and respect, because this is something you're coming into their space, so you have to respect their privacy. Yeah? So that's what it entails. Okay, moving forward, we're going to talk about more and more and more and more. So now the next question does: what would you do if you notice signs of abuse or neglect in a patient? What would you do when you notice someone is being abused, or when someone is being neglected, or when someone is being, something happened? So now you would demonstrate awareness of safeguarding policies. That's the tip. And your commitment to acting in the best interest of the patient or the resident or whoever, the service user, yeah? Example, you will talk about, like, I've noticed any signs of abuse. If I have noticed any signs of abuse, neglect, and all of that, I will report it immediately following organization safeguarding procedure. Then you also tell them more about the patient being the top priority, and also to give them insights and insights onto, what you're doing in such situation. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next question, and I'll be quick. Yeah. How do you approach working with patients who have dementia or other cognitive impairments? This one is very interesting, but I'm gonna give us a tip on how to answer this. Now you're gonna highlight your understanding of specific condition and how you would adopt or how you would adapt your care in such situation. Example, I approach the dementia care with patience and compassion, understanding their needs may change daily. I'll also help them with communication, help to communicate with them, also remain calm while doing this. This is just more like a way of helping oneself, just to make sure you talk to the person, help them maintain a calm environment. So many things could trigger a person with dementia. But always reassure them. Reassurance is the key. Always reassure them at all times. If they become confused and anxious, just try reassuring them. Keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. Try to make them calm, because a whole lot of things could trigger them at a point. Even you talking to the person, you even making the person angry. So we have to know how to bypass different means to talk to people with dementia. It's not something that you go to school to learn. It's more technical and more practical than you can imagine. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to talk about the next one, which is what is the understanding of confidentiality, data protection in a care, mental health, confidentiality, and data protection. Yeah. So this tip is very important. Let us take our time to listen. It's going to help us. Now, show awareness of GDPR. If in the UK or wherever you find yourself, equivalent laws and how important confidentiality is. Do you understand? Now, I understand that maintaining patient confidentiality is crucial, and I'm aware of GDPR regulations. I assure that any personal information is shared within relevant team members and is stored in a safe device or wherever, or saved be saved in a computer, laptop, as the case may be. So, because your residents, your service user, patient, whatever you call them, their information is a very, 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 very important tool or whatever piece of information you can call it, is very important because you have to safeguard it wherever you are, and you do not give out information of your service users just like that. Their confidentiality matters as well, so you have to be, if you can use the word secretly, keep it in a safe file or safe place, because this thing is their own privacy. It is their own data, or their own data. So you have to keep it for them. Okay, for them to be able to entrust you with their details means they do not want everyone to be informed or aware of whatever they're going through. Last but not the least, on our file, this is how do you handle end of life care, and how would you support patients with their families? Now, I'm going to give us a tip. Express sympathy, yes. Sensitivity, the importance of providing emotional support, yes. End of life care requires great deal compassion and a whole lot. So you have to, okay, let's go ahead. I would ensure patient comfort and dignity are prioritized while offering emotional support to the family, respecting their wishes and needs during such difficult times. Now you're going to prepare these kind of questions. Like, for instance, let me talk about the last one. End of life care is a resident or service user who are in their end stage or their end phase of life. So sometimes they will tell you, do not get too emotionally attached to such person, because at the end of the day, when the person dies, it affects everything about the support worker, the nurse, whoever. So it affects everything about you. When you are with a resident, when you start having this emotional bond and all of that, physical attachment with somebody, like you're very, very close with the person or a resident, and the person dies, it affects someone else. So when you're with the person, just try as much as you can to be professional, and try as much as you can. Don't be too into the person, so at the end of the day it doesn't affect you. So thank you for learning with me on the kind of interview questions you might be asked on, on the day of the interview. If you're into the care sector, if you're into kind of support or whatever, especially when you're working in care, so the kind of question you might be likely asked. It's a life scenario question. You're not going to be asked anything outside this question I have asked, or better still, one or two things will be added to it. So guys, thank you so much. I want you to share this video, please. Share this video and also help to encourage people. And for those who are in care, if you have any similarity to what I have said, you can also comment on the comment section. And for those incoming ones who want to also go in care, you can also put one or two things under the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. Wait on our next episode. Have a good day. Bye.